On today's Cogni-Thrive podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about statistics about dementia, how prevalent it is, and just some of the crazy statistics there are. We're also going to talk a little bit about the importance of getting a cognitive assessment. So you're listening to the Cogni-Thrive podcast. We will be right back.
Welcome to the Cogni-Thrive podcast, where we help you understand the signs of early cognitive decline and the many ways available to keep your brain healthy. Judi Pritchard is a certified cognitive coach with more than 30 years of experience, and her company, Cogni-Thrive, provides comprehensive tools to support cognitive resilience as you age. Join Judi and her husband Philip as they continue to spread the message that dementia is not definite.
All right, guys, welcome into another Cogni-Thrive podcast. I'm here with Judi Pritchard. Judi, how are you today?
Hi, honey. I'm good. How are you?
She says honey because we are married. This is not a weird podcast. So glad you guys tuned in again. We appreciate you going on this journey with us to make the world a better place through cognitive health improvement. Did I get that right?
Absolutely, because dementia is not definite.
That's right, exactly. So tell us a little bit about just some of the stats around dementia and cognitive impairment.
Absolutely. So across the United States, there are almost 7 million people living today with dementia. Just about all of those are over the age of 65. That's not scary enough, but even more terrifying is the number of people that are not diagnosed, are inaccurately diagnosed, or are being diagnosed under the age of 65. Those people are known as having young onset dementia. And we live here in Alabama, and Alabama is actually number one in the nation for people being diagnosed under the age of 65 with young onset dementia.
The one thing we don't want to be number one in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give us the football titles, we'll take that. But
That's
no,
right.
we don't want to be number one in this. So considering that, and considering how our population is aging drastically, and the stats from the Alzheimer's Association that if you're in your 30s and 40s, 1 out of 9 of you are going to be diagnosed with dementia. And as you get older, those numbers get even worse. So if you're over 65, 1 out of every 2 are going to be diagnosed with dementia. Women are more likely to be diagnosed than men. Hispanics and African Americans more likely than not. And it's definitely something that, considering the numbers, considering the prevalence, and considering how we all want to live longer and have great lives, there's a lot we've got to get out as far as information of what people can do today, action items that you can do today to take care of yourself and to help your loved ones stay away from this.
And I know one of the very first starting points, just like with anything, we've talked about being in a gym and going to a physical therapist. You have to get an assessment. You have to get a snapshot of where you are in this particular point of time. So I know at Cogni-Thrive, through our nonprofit arm, the Care and Thrive Foundation, we offer a cognitive assessment. So talk a little bit about the cognitive assessment and what it does, how it works, and kind of what information you're able to get from that.
Okay. So first of all, we know there's no cure for dementia or Alzheimer's. And just so we're all on the same page, dementia is an umbrella term. It has, I think the last number estimated is over 200 different conditions that fall under the umbrella of dementia. Alzheimer's is number one of the most popular. About 85% of the people have Alzheimer's. But there are lots of other conditions that cause cognitive decline to the point where it's impacting people's ability to live their lives. Research now has told us, plain as day, that the brain typically starts changing 20 to 30 years before a diagnosis is ever hit. So, but what do we know about our brains? What do we know those 20 or 30 years beforehand? How do we know if our brain's working or not? We don't. We don't have any way of checking it. We can't check it like we do our blood pressure. We can't check it like we do our cholesterol. There's no way to check it that's readily available. That's why we offer the online assessment, to give people insights into how is your brain functioning today. It's compared against people their own age. So it's normed, it's studied, it's proven to be effective, and it's available. So we've got to start doing a checkup just on your brain, just like you do your body.
So I've decided I've lost my car keys for the 1,000th time this week. I might need some help. How do I go about getting a cognitive assessment from you guys?
It's easy. You just contact us. So you either go to our website or you give us a call or you stop me in the grocery store, whatever you need. We do need some information from you because you get your own personal registration link. So what I need from you is your name, your phone number, your email address, and your date of birth. Don't need the exact date. I just need the month and the year. And then I need to know what sex you are, male or female, because of the way it's normed against people your own age and your own sex.
Right. So this is not one of those things where we're going to get the option to not tell you that.
No, because you might be, because as we know, brains can be different according to if you're male or female. So however you identify, that's fine. Just know that's what you're going to be normed against.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So I've done that. I've given you my information. What's the next step?
So I will get your registration set up, and then you will get an email link. And that link will take you right into the assessment, and the link will remind you. So if you don't do it within a week, you'll get a couple of reminders.
Yeah.
And it'll take you right into your assessment. It takes about 45 minutes, and it's literally set up like an online gaming system, but it's 12 different segments, looks at 12 different areas of your brain. And once you're done, I get the results. I give you a call. If we can't connect together because I can't reach you or you're not available, I can email your results, so you will have your own results, and you can share them with your medical group, you can share them with your family, or you can just keep them to yourself. But you will have your actual test results in your hand.
Yeah, and you can go, when you go to our website, careandthrive.com, we'll also put a link on Cogni-Thrive.com, so this all doesn't get too confusing for you. But there is like a little demo test. Don't get that confused with the actual assessment. A lot of people take the demo and they're like, it's not giving me an answer. Oh my gosh, I've lost my mind. What's up? That is just a practice test. But this is a fun computerized game. I've done it, of course. I don't get out of any of this stuff. And it's a little stressful because you do start realizing, hey, maybe my brain does not work as fast as I think it should. But even though I thought I was terrible in some areas, I actually ended up pretty normal for my age. So don't be afraid of it. And most of all, don't be afraid to just do it and get the results. It's just like any other test you have to do it to get the results, and you can't be afraid of what might be there.
Yeah, I mean, I even got nervous taking it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's because this is not something we experience. We don't have a regular piece of our brain getting checked like we do our blood pressure or having blood work done. And so it's just that. And it is hard. But it's meant to be hard, to challenge you. But don't automatically assume that means you've done that poorly. Honestly, we're inching up to almost 300 that we've given away in over a year, that we've done over and over a year. And the number of times that I've said, okay, we need to get you on to somebody else, a specialist, have been very few. But the nice thing about it is it gives you your baselines. So then if you have surgery coming up, or if you have an illness that you just feel like you have brain fog, where you're just not sharp, you can call me back and you can take it again. That's not a problem, because the test results are really cool in that every time you take it, it will trend your results. So it will be very obvious if you're starting to have declines. And then that's where we can get you help. That's where we can help you develop a plan specific to those areas.
Yeah, so it's not just important to take this one time. It's important to take it annually.
Yeah.
Or if you, like you said, if you're having surgery, or maybe you've started on a different medication, because even medications can affect your cognitive ability.
Yep.
It's always good to just have that norm. So let's say I've taken it and you get the results and you see a particular area that I might need some work in. What would be your next step?
So first of all, it's completely confidential. So like I said, you can share it or you cannot share it as far as the results. I don't publish them anywhere. They're not open for people to get. Like, you have your own personal access. So when we talk, one of the conversations I'll have with you are you having any concerns? Are you struggling at work? Are you struggling remembering appointments? Are you worried about anything that just doesn't feel quite right? Based on that information, I may ask you to come in to me, or we can do a Zoom call. It doesn't have to be in person, where we do a few little more assessments that we look further at areas that are related to the concerns that you have specifically. And then we'll develop a plan. That plan is going to be a holistic plan. So we really try and help you with an overall holistic approach to brain health. What's your sleep patterns like? What are your exercise? How much are you doing that is energizing your brain? Or are you coming home from work and completely spent, and so you're vegging out on Netflix? What are you doing to help that? As well as, how are your relationships? And what are you doing on your downtime to relax and relieve stress? All of these things factor into how well your brain works. And so we look at a holistic plan to help you overall.
Yeah, and you mentioned, coming home and vegging after work. That's not a bad thing sometimes.
No.
But if it's becoming like a routine, you might have issues going on. So how important is it for, say, a care partner, a spouse, or even a family member? How do they know if they see something going on? How do you prod that loved one along to say, you may have something else going on? How do you touch that subject?
It's a tricky one because of the stigma attached to dementia. And so automatically people tend to get defensive. And it's a difficult conversation to have. And what I experience I can't tell you, every single one of the clients I've had over the last 5 years, when I ask them and we really dig into, when did you start first noticing changes? It was years before they were ever diagnosed, literally years before. But what typically happens is we want people to feel better about themselves. So we rationalize it. Oh, they've just been stressed lately, or, oh, they've been tired. And so we don't challenge it, and we start doing more things for them, or compensating by not having so much pressure on them, or not having them do as much around the house. But that's actually the opposite thing of what you should do.
Right.
So have the conversations early, and have those conversations in a way that's supportive. What I often tell people to do now, like when they talk to me about the cognitive profile, I said, do it as a date night.
Yeah.
Set it up. You both get your laptops. You both do it. There you go. It's fun. There's no pressure. And yet you're taking a huge step forward that a majority of the people in the world today don't do. But you're taking a huge step forward to help your brain.
And maybe don't drink wine or beer before you do the cognitive assessment, because that might affect it. Might make it more fun, but you might not get an accurate result.
Or it might be better. I don't know.
That's right. Well, obviously, Alabama here, our home state, is off the charts with some of these negative statistics, but I know you're doing your best to try and change those things. And the best thing is just from education. There's tons of stuff out there. There's all sorts of things that you have to really be careful of. There's medications. A lot of this stuff's not really proven or backed by the FDA from real hard testing. But again, there are things that people are going to try. And most of us as Americans especially want to just take a pill. And let's hope it goes away. And unfortunately, just like losing weight or anything else with the health, you can take a pill, but if you don't do the other stuff as well, it's not going to be as effective, and it may not be effective at all. So we are excited to be continuing this journey with Cogni-Thrive and trying to get the word out. Judy's available for speaking engagements. She consults with assisted livings, with groups, anybody who wants to learn more about cognitive impairments and how you can make it better.
Absolutely. There's so much more we can do, and we can do it together. And really, honestly, there's no telling how we can change the course of the future around the numbers with people with dementia. And hopefully, if more people get active in caring for their brain earlier, we can hopefully decline these numbers tremendously.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. Visit our website, Cogni-Thrive.com. That's Cogni-Thrive.com. And subscribe to this podcast. And if you've got questions, please email us, and we would be happy to talk to you about them. Thanks so much. And Judy, have a great day.
Thanks. You too. See you later.
Thank you for listening. And remember, we are not physicians, and you should always consult your doctor about what treatment is best for you. Please visit www.cogni-thrive.com to learn more about our services or to book Judi to speak at your next event.